Hi, this is Joan-Marie Domino. Welcome to my channel. I have absolutely filled this video with so many things. I'm going to start out with a tutorial on the very basics of decoupage in case decoupage is new to you. I also have some inspirational pieces to show you and a fun technique like the iron-on method. Then I'm going to show you some really fun seasonal things like how to decoupage an egg. I know that looks like a real egg, but it's not. And I'm going to take you step by step with some great tips so that you can do this too. And along the way, I'm going to show you some of Vippies Designs' beautiful napkins, www.vippies.com. Okay, let's get started. Before I get into my very first tutorial, which you're going to love, I want to talk a little bit about decoupage. Maybe you've never decoupaged before. Well, decoupage merely means adhering beautiful papers to objects. My beautiful papers are these gorgeous napkins from Vippies Designs, and the glue I use is Mod Podge decoupage glue with the napkins and the glue, and I'm going to give you step-by-step instruction. You're going to be able to create beautiful things. So the very first thing I'm going to show you is the absolute basics, and I'm going to do it on something very basic, which is a rock. Okay, let's get started, and we're doing the very basics. So I have my rock on my paper plate, and the first thing I'm going to do is start to go through my napkins because I want to find an image that's going to fit on that rock. And after going through all of the napkins, I decided I really love that bird. So I'm just going to turn the rock around, and I can see it's going to work perfectly. Okay, I've already washed this rock. That's very, very important. And now I'm going to give it a coat of white paint. Now, you can use chalk paint, acrylic paint. It doesn't matter when you're doing a rock. You can use any white paint that you have. When I'm done painting the rock, I'm going to put it off to the side to dry. Okay, here's the napkin I picked with the little birdie on it. I'm only going to need one panel, so I'm going to put the other three aside. The first thing I want to do is separate the napkin because with decoupage, we only use the top printed layer. So I put a little Mod Podge between my fingers. I'm pinching up there in the corner, and I'm able to remove that top printed ply. Okay, I'm going to grab my rock and bring it back in front of me again. I want to lay down the napkin so you can see how perfectly it fits onto that rock. The next thing I'm going to do is what's called a deckled edge. I'm not going to use a scissor to remove this bird. I'm actually going to be using what's called a water tear method. To do the water tear method, I'm actually using my water brush. It's a pen that has a tube of water. Water feeds through the brush, and I'm able to trace around the image. The water is weakening the napkin, making it very, very easy to get a nice, soft, deckled edge. I'm going to hold it up so that you can see. I don't use a scissor because if you use a scissor, it gives you a very defined edge. I want something that's going to blend in. Now, you don't have to have a water brush. You could just take a regular brush and dip it into water. Now it's time to adhere the little birdie to the rock, and I'm using decoupage glue, and the brand I'm using is Mod Podge. I'm going to take some of the glue, I'm just going to squirt it on there, and by the way, if you're just beginning, you can get those small bottles in the Dollar Tree. Now that I have an even coat of Mod Podge, I'm ready to put my little napkin on my little birdie. So I'm going to gently place it down, smooth it a little bit with my fingers. I'm going to use my brush as well. Now here comes a big, big tip. I'm going to use a piece of plastic wrap. I'm going to put it on top, and I'm really going to smooth out that napkin. I have some wadded up paper towels. I'm just going to go over it. The plastic wrap is going to protect that napkin because the napkin is wet while I'm smoothing it out, and I'm going to gently remove the plastic wrap. Now I'm going to hold it up so that you can see. Look how beautiful that is. And see that deckled edge? It blended right into the rock. So there it is. It's all dry. It's so pretty. And there's the napkin or the fancy paper that I used. And how did I put it onto the rock? I used Mod Podge decoupage glue. Okay, if you can't find rocks like that, I mean, when I first started, any rock I could find, I was willing to decoupage. So you could do the same thing. Look in your yard or ask your friends and try to find some rocks and just have fun. And it's fun because now you know the basics. I get my beautiful napkins from Vippies Designs Decoupage Napkin Shop, www.vippies.com. They have hundreds and hundreds of beautiful napkins. And Vippies has several options. You can buy single napkins individually. You can buy them in sets of 2, and they have these wonderful bundles. You don't want to miss out on them. And now I have a couple of fun tips for you. That candle is from the Dollar Tree, and because it's narrow, you want to find an image that is also narrow like that gnome. And it just so happens that this gnome candle was one of the projects I did around Valentine's Day, and you can see he fits on there perfectly. So go through your napkins and see what you have and just wrap it around and see if it fits. And I think this one with the little rain boots is absolutely perfect. Okay, so this is a real fun way that you can know if a napkin is going to fit, especially if you're doing something clear. So this is a vase. I got it from the Dollar Tree, and I love this blue napkin with the little bunny, and I wanted to make sure it was going to fit. So what did I do? I tucked it inside the vase, and then I just took some crumpled up paper towels and stuffing and whatever else I had, and I put it inside, and then I was able to see, wow, that looks absolutely perfect. So I can go ahead now and decoupage that bunny. So here's the napkin from Vippies Designs, and you can see it's got 6 panels because it's buffet size, so that means you have 6 bunnies. You could do 6 vases. I have some more tips for you. Okay, this is a round wood. I got it from Vippies Designs, and they're really fun to decoupage, but now it's the same thing like the candle. I want to find a napkin that's going to fit. So I took some of these napkins, and again, these are all from Vippies Designs, and I put them up against a circle, and I want to find things that are going to fit. See, like that little bunny, he's going to fit perfect on that circle. Also look for napkins like this. They're already kind of rounded, so that one's going to be perfect. The little bunny head is going to be perfect, and this one is one of my favorites with the basket and the tulips, so pretty, perfect for that. But take a look at this one, a wreath of forsythia and a little birdie. Okay, here's a fun tutorial using that beautiful napkin. So I'm going to give this wood round a coat of paint. I'm using white chalky paint, and this is from the company Rust-Oleum. And I'm going to take the paint and I'm going to go all over the top of this piece of wood, and then I'm going to let it dry. And you can always use one of these heat guns to kind of speed up the process. Now that the paint is dry, I'm going to go ahead and put on another coat of paint. Now I'm doing 2 coats because I don't know if you noticed, but the background on that napkin is a very bright white. I want to keep it that way once it's decoupaged. All right, we're going to let that dry. And of course, remember, you can always use your heat gun to speed up the process. You'll find the links to all the products I use down below in the description box. Okay, here's that beautiful napkin. I'm only going to need 1 square, and with decoupage, we only use that top printed layer, so I'm just going to separate it, and I want to put it on the circle wood so that you can see. Look how perfect it is, and I'm glad I did 2 coats of white paint. Now it's time to put on the glue. So I'm going to take some decoupage glue, and remember, you can get these little bottles at the Dollar Tree. You don't have to buy big containers. And I'm going to put some on the wood, and now I'm going to start to spread out the glue. Now, with decoupage, you want to make sure you get a really even coat from edge to edge and not too thick. Okay, now when I put this napkin on, I'm not going to press it right down. I'm going to kind of slide it into place because I want to make sure that it's centered on the circle wood, and that's perfect. Now I'm going to take a plastic bag and put it on top. I've got some wadded up paper towels, and I'm going to start to smooth it from the center out so that the napkin is nice and smooth. I'm going to remove the plastic bag, and then I want to hold it up so that you can see how beautiful this is with the white paint underneath. It's almost like a bright white, I'm going to say cotton sheets. That's kind of what it reminds me of. It's so pretty. And I am going to use my heat gun just to speed up the drying process. And then once it's dry, I'm ready to go on to the next step. And I'm going to use my iron. This is a Cricut iron. It's a craft iron. There are the settings. The 3rd setting is the highest. And when it's green, it's ready to go. And look at the little tray it comes with. It's so cute. I'm going to put a piece of baking parchment on top. That's going to protect the iron, and it's going to protect the napkin. I'm going to run my iron over it. And what's happening is the glue is melting and reactivating. And now I'm getting a nice flat napkin. It looks almost like it was hand painted. And by the way, I am working on top of a silicone surface, which is very important when you're using the iron-on technique. Okay, I'm going to put the iron aside, and now we're going to trim away that extra napkin hanging off there on the side. And I'm using my finger sander, which has a little piece of sandpaper on there, and it's replaceable, so when one wears out, you could just pop on a new one. I'm going all the way around the edge with a downward stroke until that extra napkin comes right off, and I have a nice, clean, edge. Okay, here's another product from Vippies Designs. This time it's a square wood. Now the nice thing about this size wood that Vippies Designs carries is that one square of a beverage size napkin fits perfectly. It's almost like a no-brainer. Just go through your napkins and any of the beverage napkins you have should fit. And I absolutely fell in love with this napkin, so I decided I'm going to use the little bunny napkin in my next tutorial. I already gave the wood square 2 coats of linen white Rust-Oleum chalky paint and I let it dry between each coat. Now I'm going to put on some Mod Podge decoupage glue. I'm going to squirt some on there. Now when I apply decoupage glue, I always do a nice even coat. I try to cover the entire surface and go right to the edge. Once I'm done, I'm going to put that off to dry. Now I want to take a look at the napkin, which is the little bunny. And I'm only going to need 1 square because I'm only doing 1 piece of wood. But I have 3 more if I want to do 3 more pieces of wood. So I'm going to separate the napkin. I have a little glue between my fingers, pinch up there in the corner, and then I'm going to be left with that top printed ply. I did go ahead and take the Mod Podge and put a second coat on top of that, and I let it dry just to save some time. So I have 2 coats of Mod Podge on there, and I let both coats dry. So now we're going to be doing the iron-on technique again, but this time the glue is completely dry, and now I'm adhering the rabbit. I'm putting a piece of baking parchment on top. It's going to protect the napkin and the iron, and I'm going to start to run the iron over the napkin, and what's happening is the glue is melting and now that napkin is adhering perfectly to that piece of wood. All right, and see, I'm going right up to the edge. That's very important. Let's let that cool. And now let's take a look at that beautiful bunny. One of the funnest things I like to make and give are bookmarks. And Vippies Designs carries wood bookmarks, www.vippies.com. I made these bookmarks with napkins and I used the iron-on method and they came out perfectly. Now, another product Vippies has, and I love this, is they have coaster size wood too. Go through your napkins and see what will fit on the coaster. You can do sets of 4. You can do individual ones. It also makes a really good gift. Bless it. That's a beautiful napkin from Ray Dunn. And I love the little bunny in the wreath. Here's a couple coasters I already did, one for Christmas and one for Halloween. Now, Vippies Designs also carries cork backing, and it's so easy. It's self-stick. You just peel off the one layer and then take it, place down the wood coaster, and then you're just going to put the cork right on top like that. Just center it and press it down with your fingers. And now you have a cute coaster and a nice gift. And by the way, I did use the iron-on technique when I made these coasters. Vippies Designs carries a wide assortment of napkins, which also include religious napkins. And since we're into the Easter season now, I want to show you some of those, like that beautiful cross. He is risen. This is a buffet size. You actually get 2. It comes 2 in a set. And here is another one, He is risen. And remember those round woods? I want to see if I can find one here so I can show you. And here we go. You get 2 of them, by the way, and here is the round wood. I'm going to put it down there on top, and you can see that this napkin would also work perfectly if you want to decoupage some round woods. And Vippies Designs carries other religious napkins. You can find some in the Christmas and in the Hanukkah selection. And with Easter comes springtime, and I want to show you some of Vippies Designs' newest floral napkins, like that tulip napkin. Now, this tulip napkin is really special. When you open it up, you get what's called a panoramic. That means nothing is cut off at the folds. This one is very, very cute with the little chicks. That's definitely Easter and spring. I love this. It's a vine swirly wreath. So pretty. Here's that blessed napkin again. It's printed on 2 panels, and that is from the artist Ray Dunn. This is very cute. It's a bunny head inside a wreath of forsythia. Okay, now I have some dinner buffet size. They come with 6 panels. Love that. It's a continuous print of bunnies and ducks. And now, this is bunny love for you. I saw these napkins at Vippies Designs and I'm like, yes, sign me up. I want at least 2 of these. These are buffet size napkins, okay? And buffet size dinner napkins have 6 panels. I want to open it up and show you. So with this particular napkin, you're going to get 3 of 2 different bunnies. But you know what makes this deal really sweet? You get 2 napkins, okay? These come in a set of 2 and they're at a very, very special price. So quick like a bunny, go over to Vippies Designs, www.vippies.com, and grab a set. All right, so here's a few more spring and Easter. And again, these are the buffet lunch-size napkins. They're larger, and they have 6 panels, and all of the panels are printed. And like this one with the little chicks, you're going to have 3 panels together that make a panoramic pattern. See, nothing is cut off at the folds. I've got one more to show you, also of some white bunnies on a pink background, but they have many, many more. All right, now I'm on to another inspirational decor piece I wanted to show you because I did a video on this already. So this little glass bowls, they come from the Dollar Tree. They get set of 4, and I was able to put this napkin on this little bowl in what's called reverse decoupage. So it's not on top or inside the bowl, it's on the outside. That means the inside is glass and you can still put something inside. So I did another one using this really adorable napkin of all these little spring baby animals, like the little bunny and the little chicken. Here I made one I want to show you. Here it is. I used the same exact technique with the bowl. I put it on the underneath part, so you're looking through the glass. Ooh, look at this one. I actually decided to decoupage the outside as well, and I'll show you that later on my Facebook page. So if you want to see how the little bowl came out, make sure you go on over to my Facebook page, Decoupage D.I.Y. with Joan-Marie Domino. Now take a look at these. They are so cute. These are decoupaged eggs, but they're not real eggs. These are fake plastic eggs, but they look so real and they look fabulous when you decoupage them with a napkin. And they're not hard to do. And you know what? My next tutorial in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to make these. Sometimes these eggs come with a little hole on top. That's so you can hang them. I didn't like them like that. I like decoupaging them more like that. So it's going to be up to you how you want to hang them, but you definitely want to think about that before you put the napkin on. These eggs have a seam. I just want you to be mindful of that when you put your napkin on. And I'm nestling my egg in this little container that has rice, and that rice is going to keep it in the perfect position for me, and the egg's not going to roll off the table. All right, I am not going to be painting these because they are already white. However, I am going to get into my favorite part, which is to go through my napkins and pick out some small images that are going to fit on the eggs. They don't have to be Easter. You can do florals as well. I'm very partial to this little bunny. Look at that. I already did them on a couple eggs. Fits perfectly. And there's the little baby animals. Again, they would fit perfect. So I decided, you know what? That's my first egg I'm going to show you. This napkin is a great choice because there's so many little images in it. You can make dozens of eggs. Anyway, I'm going to use the top printed ply, put the other 2 aside, and I am going to go ahead and do a soft water tear on this. I'm using my water brush again, tracing around the image. The water is weakening the napkin. I'm able to go all the way around it, and I'm going to show it to you when I'm done. And now the edges are deckled and softened, and they are going to blend right into the egg. Okay, I'm going to make sure my egg is positioned well in the little thing of rice. And I'm going to take some Mod Podge. That's what's in this container. I put mine in containers. You're going to see that in my videos because I buy big containers. So I'm putting a nice even coat on top of the egg. And I'm going to take the little piece of napkin and I'm going to tuck a little bit of Mod Podge underneath. And then I'm going to go over it with my brush. And then I'm going to put it down into the rice. And this is just a plastic bag. I'm just smoothing out the image, little piece of napkin, and I'm going to hold it up for you. And you can see there's a little bit of frizz, but that's okay. My brush still has some Mod Podge on it, so I'm just going to smooth it down. Look how cute that is. All right, it's so cute. You know I've got to do another one. This time I have a little chick, or is it a duck? I don't know, but I'm going to put him on the other side of the bunny. It's so cute. It doesn't really matter what it is. Okay, so I'm putting on some Mod Podge, And I'm going to place the little duck chick on top of the egg. And I'm going to use my brush again. I'm tucking a little bit of Mod Podge under and I'm smoothing it with my brush. But like the other one, I am going to put a piece of plastic on and I'm just smoothing it out. Remember, that plastic is protecting that wet napkin. And again, I'm just going to smooth down the phrase with my brush, which still has a little bit of Mod Podge on. I'm going to hold it up. Look how cute that is. And look, there's a bunny on the other side. And that was so easy. Just make sure the one side is dry before you do the other. Here's another quick idea. If you have rub-offs and or transfers and they're small enough, you can absolutely put these on the plastic eggs. These eggs are so cute and they're not hard to do at all. Well, I'm glad you were able to join me for this video. I brought you some of the most beautiful napkins that Vippies Designs just put into their napkin shop, www.vippies.com. And if you're new to decoupage, my rock gave you the very, very basics. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad you can join me. And I hope that you will subscribe to my YouTube channel, Decoupage D.I.Y. with Joan-Marie Domino. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm so glad you could join me again. You can meet up with me on Facebook and on Instagram. And my friends at Vippies Designs, www.vippies.com, and you can follow Vippies on Facebook and on Instagram as well. Vippies Designs Decoupage Napkin Shop, www.vippies.com.